Today I wanted to talk about direction over speed. And I was thinking about this a lot over the past, week and a half, 2 weeks, because, for me, basketball is coming to an end pretty soon in about 4 to 5 weeks. And I graduate from grad school in May, so that's coming up pretty fast. And, just really thinking about the next season of my life. I think, when you're moving into that next season, a lot of people can start to, you know, think a lot about, oh, what am I going to do? Am I going to be able to be secure? Am I going to have everything figured out? Are things going to happen at, when I want them to happen? And it can really cause us to, feel some type of anxiety, and but also to start comparing our timelines to other people. And it's something that I have to consciously, bring intention to, because, you know, something that I continuously remind myself is that I'm not moving at my speed, I'm moving at God's speed, right? And God's speed for me is going to be different than God's speed for everybody else. And I have to be more focused on direction over the speed, right? And it's natural to, especially as, human beings, it's natural to want to have things figured out. It's natural to, want to get to those visions and those dreams and those aspirations that we have. But we also have to understand that, reaching these places and reaching our potential, becoming the best versions of ourselves, is a long game. It's not a short game. And these things don't happen overnight. They take time, they take consistency, they take patience, and you have to be prepared for certain things so that you can elevate in those seasons that are coming your way, right? And, I think being able to, shift your mindset from, oh, I want things to happen now, to as long as I'm moving in the right direction, I know that I'm going to be okay. It can really help you along your journey, and I know it's helped me tremendously, because it kind of releases that pressure to try to have everything figured out by a certain time. It's like, as long as I'm continuing to take the steps each and every day and move in the direction that I know is aligned with, my calling and my truth, then I know that I'll get to where I need to be when I need to be there, right? And like I said, we're moving at God's speed. So I'm leaving the timeline to the Most High. You feel me? So I think, it's something that a lot of people struggle with, especially young people, when you're finishing school and you want to know what's next. It's so easy to fall into the trap of looking at what everybody else is doing and thinking that you need to be where they are, or you need to have this figured out like they do. And all that's doing is distracting you from moving in the direction that you need to be moving into. And the more you focus on what everybody else is doing, the more you're going to continue to make decisions that aren't aligned with what you should be doing. You know what I mean? Because you want to speed up a process. You want to, have some sense of security, and, you want to get to that job, or you want to be financially secure, or whatever it is, which are all not bad things. It's just understanding that these things take time, and you're on your own unique journey, right? There is literally nobody else like you in the world. There's nobody on your journey. So you have to understand that your journey is going to take you to different places. It's going to take longer or shorter than other people's, and you have to be willing to embrace that, right? And I think also what, that mindset shift of direction over speed has helped me with is just being more present and embracing each and every day. I think when we get into that habit of trying to speed things up or trying to get to places really fast, you can kind of skip over the small incremental steps, and you can stop, focusing on the present, because you're so focused on trying to get somewhere right now. And for me, really focusing on just continuing to move in the right direction has allowed me to be present, focus on this day, because I know at the end of the day, that's all that I have, is this moment, this day, and just trying to take one step at a time, and be better than I was yesterday, right? And it is a process. You're not going to be perfect. You are going to make mistakes, but remember, you are growing through what you are going through. All right, I made a video about that on my Wagos page that, a lot of people resonated with, because, it's so true. You're going to go through this journey. You're going to go through so many different things, ups and downs, ebbs and flows. But through those things, you are continuously growing. As long as you stay rooted in gratitude, as long as you continue to trust the process and keep putting one foot in front of the other, right? And understand that it is direction over speed. And something that I really, started to see in, society and social media, all this stuff, is that people that really try to chase and try to, have that speed mentality to try to get everything figured out and want that overnight success, that stuff is never really sustainable. You know what I mean? It's in any aspect. I'm not just talking about content. It could be anything. When you're trying to relationships or anything, when you're trying to speed up the process and you want to get there now, a lot of times those things are built on a very weak foundation and they don't really last, because you rush the process. I was talking to my stepdad actually, and he had brought up how concrete works and how, when you lay concrete down, you have to let it dry overnight, 24 to 48 hours, right? And so many people lay that concrete down and then they try to jump into it, right away. And the concrete's not even molded yet. It's not firm and the foundation is still weak. And you have to be willing to give it time, you know what I mean? And let it marinate, and let it cultivate into the foundation that is sustainable for you to continue to move in the direction that's made for you, and it's such a, it was such an interesting analogy that he brought up. And I told him on the phone, I was like, I'm using that in the video because I loved it so much. But I just think that's something, I don't care what age you are, where you're from in the world. I think that's something that can help all of us, is just understanding that it is direction over speed. Direction over speed. You continue to focus on moving in the right direction, and the Most High will continue to focus on the speed at which things happen, and, like we always talk about, control what you can control. You cannot control the speed, but you can control the small steps that you take each and every day. The attitude you have, the effort you give, the energy you resonate into the world, the thoughts you give power to. You can control all these type of things. And, what you can't control is, what always happens to you, the speed at which things happen to you, certain atrocities or certain, setbacks in life. You can't control those things, but you can control how you respond, and you can control you taking those steps and continuing to move through all of life's storms and things that it throws at you. You know what I mean? And let me get a sip of tea. For anybody that doesn't drink tea, I'm a big tea guy, so definitely get on that. And if you are a tea person, leave a comment below. You can just leave the teapot or something like that. You feel me? But it's just so interesting. And it's like, I'm 25 now, and when I tell you that majority of my friends from high school, majority of people I know at 25 are already, working full-time jobs, living on their own, doing their own thing. I see that, and it's something that I have to continue to remind myself of, because I see it. It's so easy to look at that and to start thinking that you're behind the curve, to start thinking that your life isn't moving fast enough, that you don't have things figured out. And it's like, whoa, you are moving at your own unique pace, right? And the key is, can you trust in that? Can you really trust in God's speed? You know what I mean? Can you really, really sit back and say, you know what? Yeah, people around me, my age or younger or older, might be moving and doing things, quicker than I am. But I'm not worried about that, because that's not my life. And I trust that if I continue to put the work in, take those steps each and every day, that I will get to where I need to be when I need to be there. Can you really put your faith in that and trust that and actually live that out? And as you go down that journey, right, as you really put your trust in God's speed and you start to take those steps each and every day, you're going to start to, enjoy the journey so much more, because you're moving in the right direction, right? And you not knowing when things are going to happen brings that, like, excitement. Oh, what is God going to bring into my life this time? What is he going to show me? You know what I mean? And, whatever your faith is, whatever your spiritual foundation is, just understand that, just release that control over when things should happen and leave that to the Most High, and just continue to take steps each and every day. Continue to embrace the journey. Continue to move in the right direction. Understanding that as I move in the right direction, I am also moving at God's speed. And although I may not know when things are happening, I know that with faith, with consistency, with commitment, that things will happen when they're meant to happen, and I'll get to where I need to be when I need to be there, right? So, really try to make that mindset shift, especially for all my young people out there. Like, it is about direction, not speed. You know what I mean? You don't have to have everything figured out by 25, 30. You don't have to do all these things right now. You know what I mean? It is okay to not have everything figured out. It's okay to, feel a little lost or confused or not know what the next season may hold. It's okay, but you can continue to move in the right direction, because it's not really something that is said or something you see. It's a feeling. Like, when you're moving in the right direction because you can feel it. You know what I mean? Because it's aligned with your higher self, right? And that intuition is guiding you down that way. God gave us that inner compass, that so often so many people neglect. But when you really tune into that inner compass and you start moving in the right direction, it's a feeling you get. So that if I keep taking steps down this path, keep implementing these habits that are making me more, feel more aligned with where I'm supposed to be, then you'll get to where you need to be, and you'll know you're moving in the right direction, right? And that's something that a lot of people ask. It's like, oh, how do I know if I'm doing the right things? How do I know if I'm moving in the right direction? How do I know, what to do next? And it's like, yo, it's not really something that's said. It's not really a tangible thing. It's a feeling. It is a feeling. When you are moving down the path that is aligned with your highest self, it's a feeling, right? And if you continue to pursue that and trust in that, you'll get to where you need to be. And leave the speed to the Most High, because God is doing all the work on the back end to make sure that you become the best version of yourself, that you reach your potential, that you live out the purpose that God has placed within you for the world, right? So, as you're starting your week, ending your week, whatever it may be, remember to make that mindset shift, to remember that it is direction over speed. Direction over speed. And continue to take steps each and every day. Trust in the process, embrace the journey, and you gonna get to where you need to be when you need to be there. You feel me? So, grab your tea, do whatever you gotta do. Rest up, take care of yourself. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next video, man. Appreciate y'all, love y'all, and we out of here.